everybody.
Triple crones, let us bubble. We are here to stir some trouble.
Flamenco rises, an urban rebel.
Cass surges, a great sea swell.
Ajeana springs from the wooded dell.
Welcome to the Cronedom, the world of the wild and wise. Women of the elder realm, triple crones are on the rise.
From ancient days to modern times,
The crone was never praised,
She was a thing to be insulted.
or a thing to be erased.
carrion, old trout, carcass, you.
Witch, biddy, wrinkly, shrew.
Harridan, harpy, curmudgeon, hag,
Gorgon, battle axe, dark bat, old bag.
What a list of nasty names.
The crone must still endure.
but we are here to settle scores.
We'll not take it anymore. Triple crones, let us bubble. Let us stir our triple trouble. We are here to stand our ground. We are here to claim our crowns.
I'm Flamenco. Exotic name for a crone, but I like it. As crone sisters go, I'm the middle child, the in-betweenie. When we three chose our environments, yeah, you guessed it, I drew the short straw. Ajeana, being the younger, more athletic crone, ran like the wind in the willows, skipped through bluebells and leapt over babbling brooks to commandeer woodlands, rivers and forests.
Run, run as fast as you can. I am the woodland owl and hare. I got first choice, so there.
While Cass, being the older, wiser crone, ambled barefoot over golden sands and splashed gleefully in the silver-flecked waves at the water's edge to embrace and claim the seashore.
I love the sea. This environment pleases me.
She smells seashells on the seashore. I inhabit the urban landscape. No sprawling daffodil-bedecked meadows, hills or vales for me. No sparkling waves or golden sands for me. Oh no, I was left with drab, concrete urban landscape.
You'll love it. It's right up your street, Flamenco.
They're right. I love my full of colour, teeming with life urban jungle. People so busy, I found my paradise. My urban sunset's fine. I have the best of both worlds. Inner city parks awash with swan lakes, green heaths clustered with people, people to dance to my tune. I love to party, I love to party, yeah, I'm an urbanite.
I'm Cass. I belong to the sea and the edge of the land. Literally, literal.
Ooh, get her. Give her a hand.
My stories are of ebbs and flows, roped to the moon with my tunes, all a swash and a swish of plaintive young girls, half human, half fishes, destined for ruin by the granting of wishes, of the pearl that grows out of a maddening itch. No gain without pain, it's a ditch. So dear, while you paddle or throw a flat stone, smell the weed on the tide line, the flirt of the foam. Use your eyes, use your ears. Welcome smiles, welcome tears. You are not, you are never alone. I am here to observe, to support, to advise. So give it some thought, a word. from the wise.
Cass, hear her in the shifting stones. Cass, see her in the sea-scoured bones. My name is Ajeana, Ajeana of the Hood, an expert in the countryside, the law of the wood, Ajeana the bewildered one, green in tooth and claw, stalker of the wildish ways I skulk the forest floor. The hunter's moon, the hidden trail, the night of my domain, I outfox the gamekeeper, trespass is my terrain. Born to hunt, a poacher's daughter,
It's the enemies of crones she now likes to slaughter.
Leaves rustle here, twigs crackle there. Why not visit me in my cronewood lair?
Her name is Ajeana. She runs like the hare. She floats like a vapour on the woodland air. Beware her cold, unblinking stare.
My presence is felt, but rarely ever seen. If you listen on the wind, you'll hear my name.
Ajeana. Ajeana. Triple crones, let us bubble. Let us stir our triple trouble. We are here to stand our ground. We are here to claim our crowns.
Urban beat. The crone watches from her inner city high-rise tower, smiles inwardly as the watery sun rises over soulless skyscrapers, underground, overground suburbia commutes, leaving green pastures for the concrete jungle. A conveyor belt of worker ants dance to her tune, swarm as one over London Bridge towards spiritless boxes, where row upon row of identical desks await. Mustn't be late, mustn't be late, mustn't be late, mustn't be late. Social intercourse trampled underfoot, buried deep neath paved streets, as the roar of traffic mutes their voices. When dusk falls, the urban phoenix raises its head, spreads fiery wings. The metropolis rises. Neon lights flicker and blaze merrily. Cobbled piazzas echo as like moths to a flame. People gather. This regenerated swarm buzzes. Music and laughter fill the air. Lovers hand in hand. Friends laugh, chatter and dance, always dancing to the crone's tune. After midnight, a change in tempo. Lone urbanites scurry home along deserted streets, ever mindful of malevolent shadows, quickening footsteps, sudden movement, seeking sanctuary. They disappear into the depths of the urban jungle, feet constantly moving with the rhythm of the city. The crone smiles at the heart of darkness pulsates, dancing to her tune. Now, to tell us of the sea, Cass, with her oysters of fertility.
I'm going to tell you about the Whitstable Oyster Festival 1999. Crone now, crone then, not so long ago. Do you remember the dancing? Oh yes, our raggle-taggle band. We had infiltrated all the usual arrangements, headed the parade we did. The mayor, the boys' brigade, the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce were all outfoxed, outshone by our exuberant impudence. Our story was a simple one and gave us ample room for fun. The women of the town had waited, eagerly anticipated a bumper harvest from the sea. But their menfolk were not able to haul enough for every table. They spent a deal of fishing time at the pub, guzzling wine and beer and whiskey, eating pies. Their failure then was no surprise. we inspected the catch with scant approval, turned a painted shoulder, skipped away. But then the dance began in earnest, stepping out together, for we had to save the day, to call the oysters from the sea, ensure a year's fertility. Us fish slappers, a dancing and a flirting and a giggling, sweeping back and forwards to the beat of the drums, a cocking of a snook, if you'll pardon me for saying so, some dressed a little scantily and wiggling their bums, though some, like me, had sober years beneath our glad rags, and made a show of keeping things as proper as we could. We also knew the urgency that time adds. We might be crones, but we're not made of wood, prancing with the maidens and the lovely young mammas, prancing with old Neptune, to astonished loud hurrahs, prancing with the populace who turned out from the bars, right around the town and back, then to the beach, sun setting on our last performance. We sang our chant to Yamaya, first goddess of the sea. We danced and drummed for Yamaya, acknowledging that she had given us our music hidden in her shells, had given us our dancing feet, had given us ourselves. But we sang our chant to Yamaya. It went a bit like this. Yamaya, Yamaya, asesu, asesu, Yamaya, Yamaya, alado, Yamaya. Then we ran into the water, sang some more, were very loud, and scampered off for towels and booze. We'd done the oysters proud. Oh yes, I do remember the dancing. Here comes Ajeana, Ajeana of the Hood. Listen to her fable. I hear it's rather good.
Ajeana meets an old acquaintance. It was on a fabled afternoon, as I rambled through the woods. An old fiend skulked from behind the trees, the big bad wolf. I recognised him all at once, those sly eyes and razor claws. Yet his tail had seemed far bushier days, as had his slathering jaws. His fangs had yellowed, lost their bite, his body not so hairy. Perhaps it was the woodland light, but he didn't seem as scary as he had been in those long off days when first our paths did cross. While his breath was just as rancid, he seemed at quite a loss. Adrenaline rushed through me. My time had come at last to face my enemy head on, make amends with my past. But first I played the helpless crone, since he didn't have a clue of whom I was, so much I'd changed from the girl that we once knew. I hunkered deep within my hood and feigned a little tremor, which seemed to boost his confidence, like the wolf I well remember. "What a hapless crone," he snarled, "out here all alone. Surely you'd be wise to have stayed ensconced at home." "I think I'm all but lost," I quaked. "Pray guide me out of here." He offered me a gnarled front paw and tried to hide a sneer. I took his paw and gave a squeeze, which caused him some alarm. "What strong hands you have, O crone, for one so meek and mild. All the better to hold you with, as if you were my child. But crone, what strange eyes you have. Why don't they ever blink? All the better to see you, wolf." With that I gave a wink. "O crone, how sharp your tongue is, and yet your words are blunter. All the better to cut you with, O wolf, I'm now the hunter." I flung off my green riding hood, and Wolfie rubbed his eyes. My nemesis was shaking and fell back in surprise. "It can't be, no, you're not that girl. I swear her hood was red." "Yes, it's me. Last time we met, you were in my granny's bed. But now I'm old myself, dear wolf. I learned my lesson so. Instead of cake and wine these days, I bear arrows in this bow. I've scoured these woods for decades, planning my vendetta, a promise that I made to Gran after you'd upset her. Oh, Crone, please forgive me. I've seen the error of my ways. I was young and foolish then, you know, going through a phase. Dear Wolf, you are forgiven. No need to be alone. Let's go back to Granny's house, keep company with a crone. But his fairy tale was over, folks, for what I'd failed to say. My crones were warming up the cauldron. Fresh wolf was on the menu that day. We triple crones come from city, forest and sea. We've thrown off our mantles of invisibility. We're here to stay, to make mischief and trouble. We hope you enjoy the way we like to bubble. On Mottiston Downs on Midsummer Eve, you really must be there if you want to believe that we triple crones, so wild yet so wise, will circle the Longstone from sunset to sunrise. On Midsummer's Eve, we'll be up on the downs, dancing the Longstone in our finest cloaks and gowns, singing for the solstice for hours and hours. Well, we triple crones have never been wallflowers. We're bold enough to dance around the Longstone. We're not too old to dance around the Longstone. We triple crones will dance around the Longstone, but we won't reveal our ages. Three feisty women, rowdy, comic, shrewd. We've been there, seen it, done it. We are crones with hagitude. We are never moody. We only have one mood, and we won't reveal our ages. Ajeana of the woods with sleeves so green, Cass from the sea, footloose, spring clean, Flamenco rising up, an urban queen, and we won't reveal our ages. We're bold enough to dance around the Longstone. We're not too old to dance around the Longstone. We triple crones will dance around the Longstone, but we won't reveal our ages. If crone comes from Corona, we're right to wear these crowns. On Midsummer's Eve, you'll find us on the downs, singing for the solstice in our finest cloaks and gowns. From sunset to sunrise, we won't be outdone by the hippies and youngsters. They can join in our fun. With flowers in our hair, we'll dance around the stone. Since we are never modest, so we won't lower the tone. Well, I might. Well, you would. And we won't reveal our ages. Three feisty women, rowdy, comic, shrewd. We've been there, seen it, done it. We are crones with hagitude. We are never moody. We only have one mood, and we won't reveal our ages. We're bold enough to dance around the Longstone. We're not too old to dance around the Longstone. We triple crones will dance around the Longstone, but we won't reveal our ages. Urban Crones Carnival Fest. Sing, dance, wherever you may be. I am the crone of carnival, said she, and I'll lead you all a-dancing merrily. I'll lead you all to carnival, said she. Flamenco rhythm, samba drums, something joyous this way comes. Wave upon wave of colourful floats, superheroes, mermaids, pirates on boats. Bunting bedecked tractors, trailers and cars. This procession of colour can be seen from Mars. Okay, now maybe that's an exaggeration, but all across the nations, from Rio de Janeiro to the streets of Notting Hill,
The hustle and bustle of carnival is still a fiesta, a spectacular, a cacophony of voices. Hot town, summer in the city rejoices. Sing, dance, wherever you may be. I am the crone of carnival, said she, and I'll lead you all a dancing merrily. I'll lead you all to carnival, said she. Summer streets alive to the sound of marching bands. Feet are tapping, hips are shaking, happy clapping hands. Children's laughter, smiling faces, a delight. An extravaganza so vibrant and bright. Bathed in sunshine, glistening in the heat. A bedazzling procession, dancing in the street. Birds of paradise, swooping and a-swaying, intoxicating rhythms and steel bands playing. Hot town, summers in the city, glitter fest of butterflies, oh so pretty. Sing, dance, wherever you may be. I am the crone of carnival, said she, and I'll lead you all dancing merrily, and I'll lead you all to carnival, said she. Sing, dance, wherever you may be. I am the crone of carnival, said she. I'll lead you all dancing merrily. I'll lead you all to carnival, said she.
Cass welcomes visitors. When my beaches opened and the wire was cleared away, the people said, it's really time we had a holiday. From the middle of the country to the edges by the sea, they stayed with their relatives or took a B&B, and they went on the railways. It's 1953. They came in their twos, they came in their dozens, they came with their aunties, they came with their cousins. Arriving at Victoria in the steam and the noise, little girls in pigtails and scabby-kneed boys, all fizzing with excitement, imagining the joys of paddling and shrimping and larking in the sun, eating fish and chips when the day is done. All aboard! All aboard! With a grinding of wheels and a toot on the whistle, the journey begins, and they all know that this will be the best summer yet, the one they won't forget. Close that window, you'll let in the smuts, and do as you're told, no ifs, no buts, or the toffee upper cellar and the ice cream cart will be told to stay away. Now, don't you start. Such threats as these will ease the discomfort of the seats that prick the skin and the stink of tobacco that seems baked in. Slowing down with a screech and a howl of the brakes as they stop at a station for another intake of people with luggage and tired, worn faces, coming for a rest in my seaside places that calm and restore. Away with chores, slip off your shoes and loosen your braces. Then slow, starting slow, with a huff and a puff, as the engine takes the strain and the train finds enough power and momentum, and we're off again. Clickety-clack, 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 we're back. I walk on the shore with a smile and a song, checking all is ready, for it won't be long till those land-bound folk are free to frolic and explore and recover by the sea.
We are the wild women of Crondom. We look for portents in the language of runes. We keep our wits keen. We don't shrink from danger. We circle the stone in the flowering of June. I am the crone who honours the forest. I sing pagan songs by the shifts of the moon. I decipher bird flight and the tracks of wild creatures, and I circle the stone in the flowering of June.
I am the crone who carouses the seashore. I dance on the waves, I sing from the dunes, in the heat of the sun and the crackle of driftwood, and I circle the stone in the flowering of June.
I am the crone who runs rings round the city. I entice the crowd and sing in fine tune. I dance through fire, through cracks in the pavement, and I circle the stone in the flowering of June.
We are the wild women of Cronedom. We look for portents in the language of runes. We keep our wits keen. We don't shrink from danger, and we circle the stone in the flowering of June. 3 feisty women, rowdy,
Comic,
Shrewd,
we've been there,
seen it,
done it.
We are
crones
crones
with
with
hagitude.
We
are
are
never
never
moody.
moody.
We only have one mood,
and we won't reveal our ages. We're bold enough to dance around the Longstone.
We're not too old to dance around the Longstone.
We triple crones will dance around the Longstone,
But
we won't reveal our ages.
We're bold enough to dance around the Longstone.
We're not too old to dance around the Longstone. We triple crones
We'll dance around the Longstone,
but
we won't reveal our ages.
We're bold enough to
dance around the Longstone. We're not too old to dance around the Longstone. We triple crones will dance around the Longstone, but we won't reveal our ages.
Yay!
Thank you very much. Thank you for the praise. Cass, Ajeana, Flamenco.
Thank you so much, that was amazing.